friends. Thank you for joining me, my lovely people. I really appreciate you for coming in today's presentation, still on bearings and distance. In my previous video, we have looked at keys in finding bearing and distance. In today's presentation, we are looking at relationship between three-digit bearing and compass bearing. Relationship exists between three-digit bearing and compass bearing. Any three-digit bearing can be converted to compass bearing, vice versa. Vice versa in the sense that from compass bearing to three-digit bearing and from three-digit bearing to compass bearing as the case may be. We have example on the board here. Example 1, we are asked to convert the following three digits bearing to compass bearing. Three digit means that's why we have 030 degree here. Then we have 130 degree, 300 degree. These are three digit bearing. How can we convert this three digit bearing to compass bearing? That will be the center of our discussion today. Let's look at how we can approach this. Come with me as we handle this together. Once again, thank you for coming and thank you for joining me. Let's write down the solution. That's the first thing to do. Solution to A now. We have 030 degree. This is three digit bearing. We are asked to write this in what? A compass bearing. Very important. Okay? To represent this in compass bearing, let's have our draw our cardinal point. This is the North Pole. From this North Pole, one of the features of any three-digit bearing has to be measured from the North Pole. We'll move in clockwise direction. It's one of the features of compass bearing. So I will move from here. Let's say this is our 30 degree. This will be 030 degree. Okay, this is the North Pole here. Okay, you realize that this 30 degree, 030 will fall between the north and the east. So I can redraw this as, I can represent this on cardinal points. Let's say I have my cardinal point like this. This is the North Pole. This is east, west, south. 30 degree now will be somewhere here. This is now 30 degree. And this 30 degree is between north and what? Between north and east. So this will now be 30 degrees northeast. This will be 30 degree northeast. So 030 degree in compass bearing is nothing but 30 degree northeast. Very important. So this will be the solution to A. We are asked to convert the following three-digit bearing to compass bearing. So in other words, 030 degree now is the same time as 30 degree northeast. Very important. Permit me to clean this A so that we can move to B. Okay? B, we have 300 130 rather 130 degrees. Let's represent this on cardinal point to find the equivalent compass bearing. Let's draw our cardinal points in this order. While we have our north here, east, west, and south here. This is 130 degree. 130 degree, of course, will be between south and east because this is 90 degree. Then we need 40 here. So it will be somewhere here. This will be 130 degrees now from the North Pole now, clockwise direction. So you realize that to find the equivalent bearing now in three digits, Remember, we cannot say east south, rather we have to say southeast, northeast, northwest, southwest in that order. So you realize that here is 90 and here is 40. Okay, so the leftover angle here that is close to south, because we have to say south is, it must start from the south. So we have to consider the angle that is close to the south now. So this will be 50 here. So 130 degree, which is in 3-digit bearing now, is equivalent to 50 degrees southeast. As I said, we have to consider the angle that is close to the south because we don't have east south. So it means the equivalent bearing of this now, 130 degree, is equivalent to 50 degree south east. That will be the equivalent bearing. 50 degrees south east. So this will be the solution to B. Let's quickly solve C. Let's quickly solve C. Uh, C, we have 300 degrees. We want to find the equivalent compass bearing to this 3-digit bearing. This is 3-digit now. Okay, so follow the same pattern. We draw our cardinal point. And by the way, if you are coming across this channel for the first time, please subscribe to TJ Smarts and Further Math Adventures. Press the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new content. Thank you for joining me. Let's draw our cardinal point this way: north, east, west, and south. This 300 degree, this is 90, this is 90, this is 90, that is 270. We need 30 degree here. So it will be, start from the north in this order. This will now be our 300 degrees. So the equivalent compass bearing to this 300 now will be the angle here that is close to the north. Why are we picking the one that is close to the north? Because it must be northwest, not west, not it must be north to west, not west to north. Okay, so what will be this angle here? You realize that when we move around this point, we have 360 degrees. So if we remove 30 degrees from 300 degrees rather from 360, we'll be left with what? We'll be left with 60 degrees. So this angle here is the equivalent compass bearing. So in other words, we can say that 300 degrees, which is in 3-digit bearing, is equivalent to 60 degree northwest. 60 degree northwest. So this will be the equivalent bearing. In my next video, I will explain how we can convert from compass bearing back to 3-digit bearing, vice versa, as the case may be. Thank you for watching. Please do share this to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for joining me.